This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello and welcome to Working Like Dogs on Pet Life Radio. Thank you for joining us and for following Working Like Dogs on Facebook, Twitter, and one of our new favorites, Instagram. And we're your hosts. My name is Marcie Davis, and my co-host is my hardworking service dog, Lovey. And we're thrilled to be with you today to talk about our favorite subject, working dogs and working animals. And today we're going to be visiting with Matthew Fiorillo, the CEO of Ballard-Durand Funeral Homes in Westchester County, New York. And Matthew's bringing one of his star employees with him today, Lulu. And Lulu is a beautiful Goldendoodle who works with Matthew and his staff as a certified therapy dog, where she soothes grieving families with her beautiful, calming presence. So come right back after these quick messages as we welcome Matthew Fiorillo and Lulu to the show.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Are you confused by the overwhelming number of supplements for your dog? Developed by a veterinarian, Dr. Baker's all-natural Canine System Saver is designed to address many of the common problems your dog faces today, including allergies, inflammatory diseases, arthritis, hip dysplasia, geriatric problems, and more. Restore and maintain your dog's health with Dr. Baker's all-natural Canine System Saver. Order 2 bottles today and receive 20% off plus free shipping. Visit CanineSystemSaver.com.
To get this special offer, enter coupon code RS20 at checkout.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Working Like Dogs on Pet Life Radio. I'm so happy to welcome Matthew Fiorillo and Lulu to the show. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Marcie. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, we're so glad that you could be with us. I have to say that you're our first program like this, a funeral home that's on our show, but we're just so thrilled when we heard about the working dog that you have with you these days.
Yes, thank you. Lulu is an amazing addition to the crew here.
Yeah, well, tell us, Matthew, what inspired you to think it was a good idea to add a therapy dog to your staff?
You know, no one's ever really comfortable attending a funeral service in any capacity, whether they're the grieving family or a coworker that wants to come and pay their respects. So we just felt that a therapy dog to playfully and calmly greet you when you appear here at the funeral home to pay your respects would be a great introduction here as you enter our facilities.
Yeah, well, had you heard of other dogs at funeral homes, or was this a brand new thing that you thought of? How'd you come up with it?
Well, I've always took notice of whenever there's a national tragedy or a disaster of any kind, there's always therapy dogs that converge on the scene to offer comfort and support to people that are struggling. And when I thought about it, I was in my own stressful situation at an airport when I was traveling and my flight was delayed. And I saw a woman walk by with a dog that she was traveling with. It wasn't a therapy dog. It wasn't for the purpose of calming me. It just was there, and I was overcome with just a calming effect that I also noticed other travelers have as well. And I thought that, wow, that was really powerful. I need to implement this at the funeral homes.
Oh, I love that. Well, I can't agree with you more that dogs are so wonderful in all kinds of situations, but definitely when it's high stress, there's nothing better than having those beautiful eyes, and that comforting spirit around you is just so magical. So when you made that decision, then what did you do?
Well, I researched like crazy dogs that are used in stressful situations, not so much hospitals and nursing homes, but more so I found universities have puppies and dogs that come in when the students are stressing out over their exams. And now even airports have therapy dogs for frightened travelers and things like that. So I settled on a Goldendoodle just because of, well, I fell in love with the look of the breed. But also just because they're hypoallergenic, and I wanted to make sure that she's comforting for everybody that comes to the funeral home, even those that may be afraid of a dog. And she looks like a walking teddy bear, so it's impossible to be fearful of her.
She does. Yes, she does look like you just want to squeeze her when you see her. And
It's true.
That's so sensitive of you that you were thinking about the hypoallergenic, because I know that is a big issue for a lot of people. So you really gave it a lot of thought before you actually decided on Lulu, it sounds like. And she went through a lot of training, and didn't she come from Florida?
Yes, she did. And so the first year of her life, and I'm sorry to have missed most of that puppy stage, but she was being trained in Florida with a company that trains dogs, specifically doodles, for wounded warriors. And so she was trained with a lot of other special Goldendoodles that have found their homes with a wounded warrior ever since.
Oh, wow. And what is that program in Florida?
It was called Barnyard Ventures, and the trainer specifically was Jocelyn McGinnis, who's become a good friend of myself and my family. And I can tell you, since Lulu arrived here a year and a half ago, May, she has been a real blessing, not only for the comfort to the guests that the guests feel when they get to meet her, but also for my staff. Because as you may imagine, the mood gets very heavy here oftentimes with the stress of our work. And I give her a day off or two during the week if she looks like she needs it or she's getting a little burnt out. And I'll tell you, when she's not here, the mood is definitely different among the staff members.
I bet. Well, that was one of my questions, is I wondered, what did your staff think when you told them that you wanted to add Lulu to their ranks? What did they think about that at first?
Yeah, there's nothing better. I mean, most of us, all of us here are dog lovers, and everyone was really, really excited, couldn't wait to meet her. And Lulu has her own business cards that she carries in her vest when she's working, and the other staff members got mad saying, "Oh, we don't have our own business cards, but Lulu does." So
I was going to say, did they think that Lulu gets special treatment, or were they a little envious of all the attention she gets?
No, just because she gets to lay down on the job and they don't. So
Right. But that's a great point. So I was going to ask you about what her schedule is like with Lulu. Is she there every day, or how have you really worked that out that you think is best for her and for your needs as an employer?
Yes, so she is available only on request. So it's not just, she doesn't just run loose around the funeral home when people are here. The family would need to request to have her presence here. And I'd say about 90% of the families always ask for her in one capacity or another. And whether it being, she's present when their initial meeting with us to arrange the funeral services, or during the wake when guests are here, they'd like her here. So based on that, I do try to give her 1 or 2 or 3 days off a week where she gets to stay home and be a puppy and play ball in the yard and lay around if that's what she wants. And then on the days where people request her, she takes the commute with me into work every day and takes the commute home with me at the end of my day.
Oh, that's so nice. For you too. I mean, you get the best of both worlds, having her at work and at home. I'm curious though so how do you introduce her to your families? Do you list her services in your brochure, or do you just introduce it to them when they come in to make arrangements? How do you do that? How do you introduce her?
Well, Lulu is in all of our marketing materials, our TV commercial, our ads in magazines and newspapers. She's, pictured right there with the rest of our staff. And in the common areas of the funeral home, there's a little plaque on the wall with a big picture of Lulu and a little paragraph about what she does and what her job is here. It says, "Hi, I'm Lulu. My job is to comfort you in your time of stress, and, please ask for me and I'd be happy to meet you." Something along those lines. But I'll tell you what, most of the press that came from her being here and being our 4-legged staff member, a lot of people already know she's going to be here. And when they come in the door, they say, "Where's Lulu?"
Yeah. Do you think it increased your business?
I can say it definitely increased this feeling of satisfaction and the feeling of comfort that we've always tried to portray here at Ballard-Durand. And people's comfort is what we've always strived for, and I think we accomplished that a lot greater when Lulu is involved.
Yeah, it sounds like you definitely took it to the next level with her of really having that relationship with your families and with the individuals that you're serving. It really does, I mean, my opinion, because a dog is so much a part of our family life, that bringing that into your business was really, I think that was really, not only was it innovative of you, Matthew, but it really was, it was just such a lovely gesture to really bring that family component to it.
Yeah, thank you. And families do appreciate it. I mean, Lulu gets care packages. She gets visitors that we've served in the past that have met her, that have, had a nice experience with her, come back to say hello. A lot of times for no apparent reason, they just ring the doorbell. Is Lulu here? Can I say hi? And one woman was traveling and passed by a pet shop and brought Lulu back a gift from her trip. And we played, threw the ball around with her in the building when no one was here. And it's nice when I see families that come back and mention how nice things were and how Lulu affected them in such a positive way.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. Well, we are going to take just a quick break and hear some important messages from our sponsors. And we're going to come back and continue visiting with Matthew and hearing more about Lulu's incredible work. So come right back.
We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Retrievers, Labradors, Goldens are the main breeds that come through our door, but we'll train anything with 4 legs and a tail. My husband and I own a kennel. We train hunting dogs and also have a boarding and grooming business. Our dogs, they're athletes, and we feed a very quality food. You can't get enzymes in a commercial dog food because they cook it at such a high heat that so much important nutrition is just cooked right out of it. But adding Dinovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
DINOVITE.com.
859-428-1000. Dinovite helps them obtain that better nutrition that is hard to find in commercial foods.
The omega-3 fatty acids, zinc. There's flaxseed oil, the seaweed, the kelp.
They don't shed as much, and they're all over very healthy dogs.
We tell everybody we know about Dinovite. DINOVITE.
Dinovite's the bomb.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit DesignerPetSweaters.com to order your 4-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. DesignerPetSweaters.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Working Like Dogs on Pet Life Radio, and we're visiting today with Matthew Fiorillo, the CEO of Ballard-Durand Funeral Homes in Westchester County, New York, and of course his star employee Lulu. And before the break, we were talking about Lulu's work and how she's just such a wonderful part of your business. And I wanted to ask you, Matthew, what do you think motivates Lulu to do this stressful work?
She is such a social animal. When there's no one in the building and it's just me and her, she'll kind of come and poke her nose at me and say, hey, what are we doing here? Can we go outside? Can we do something? So she just loves people. And when the doorbell rings or when she knows someone's in the building, her tail will be up in the air, her ears will perk up. She'll just really just want to be where the people are, where the action is. And she loves bouncing around from person to person and making sure she sees everybody.
That's so awesome. And does she get treats for when she works with families? Is there some kind of reward that she gets?
Yes, she loves the little freeze-dried chicken livers. That's a real special treat for her. And she has a little trick that she loves to do, and the families really are amazed by it. She was taught by her trainer, Jocelyn, to say a prayer. So she'll put her hands up on maybe the kneeler or a chair, and she'll put both her paws up, and she'll put her head down between her two paws as if she's saying a prayer, and then she gets treats for that.
Oh my gosh, Matthew, that must be so adorable. And especially oh my gosh. Do you have that on video? I'm sure you probably have that on your website.
I do not on our website, but I do. Yes, there is a video on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. Every Wednesday we post about Lulu on what she's doing and, whether she's working or just hanging around. Every Wednesday we do Dog Day Wednesdays, and it's all about Lulu that day.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, and you have 2 funeral homes as part of your business, right?
Yes, and they're about 5-6 miles away from one another. And oftentimes me and Lulu get in the car and we travel back and forth if people request to have Lulu present. And, we make 2 or 3 trips sometimes a day just so that, Lulu can make an appearance and greet the kids, young and, people young and old.
Yeah. Well, I know that must get a little hectic because I'm sure her schedule gets busy with you having 2 different locations and trying to serve everyone that requests her. And I just want to really stress that point and ask that people have to request her, right? It's not that she's just running around and sees everyone. It's only upon request.
Exactly, yeah. Families have to initiate the fact that they do want Lulu there. And then, she wears a little vest that lets people know, the other guests know, that she is a working dog and that it's not just the owner's dog, around the building. So she wears a vest with her name on it and the company logo like the adults do. We all wear a little company logo pin on our suits and a name tag on us adults as well. So Lulu is really following the same uniform that the rest of the staff members wear.
That's awesome. Well, she's a working girl, right? So she's got to have that. Well, what do you think's the best thing that Lulu has provided to you? What do you think that is?
Well, I can tell you, having her here is just great. Like I said earlier, there's definitely a sense that I miss something when she's not here at work. And when there's downtime, I roll around on the floor in my suit with her and throw the Frisbee out in the backyard of the funeral home property. And I love walking her on the street. And when people say, "Hi, Lulu," they may not know my name, but they do know who Lulu is. So.
Yeah, that's how it is for me, too. People don't know my name, but boy, they know Lovey. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, does a story come to mind of, I'm sure there's many, but could you share with us 1 or 2 stories of how Lulu had an impact on a family or an individual that you were serving?
Yes, absolutely. I will tell you a couple of times a year, 4 or 5 times a year, we have events where we invite all of the family members that we serve throughout the year back to the funeral home to remember their loved one who's passed. And Lulu's at all those events, whether it's inside the funeral home or at a different venue. And a lot of times family members do come and they're so happy to see Lulu again. And she's usually the big star at all of them. But most of the time, it's the children that had lost maybe a grandparent, an aunt or an uncle, or, in some very sad cases, a parent of their own. And I usually make a house call with Lulu just to follow up, and especially if kids really connect with Lulu, I'll, get in the car with her one day, put her little vest on, and stop off at the family's houses and have Lulu, play with them in their own home.
Oh, that's so nice. I didn't realize that you provided that service as well. That's so nice to take her out into the community like that. Does she do any other kinds of appearances in the community?
Last year, I took her to the 9/11 memorial in one of our towns where one of my funeral homes is. And as a matter of fact, I bumped into someone last night that said, "Am I coming to the 9/11 memorial with Lulu again this year?" And I told her yes. So I have yet to visit, in hospitals and infirmary places, but I have taken her to an elementary school where the students read to her and heard a little bit about what she does and how she works to comfort people. She's been a real blessing for us here at Ballard-Durand.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well, I was wondering, would you recommend to your colleagues or your competition, would you recommend a therapy dog to them in their funeral homes?
I would definitely say yes. If, comforting the family should be the first and foremost task at hand for us funeral directors. It is a big commitment, but all I can say is I've had nothing but positive things
Yeah, it sounds like it. Do you know of any other dogs like Lulu in the country? Because when I heard about you, I was like, we have to have them on the show because it was such a unique job, but yet it made such sense. You know, it just seemed like common sense that, of course, there would be a dog in such a stressful type of work. But I just wondered, do you know of any others throughout the country?
Yes, there is one in a handful, funeral home colleagues of mine, Missouri, Wisconsin, Kentucky, and Pennsylvania, off the top of my head.
Yeah, so just a few. Well, you're definitely a trailblazer, and I always say that dogs are just beginning to show us what all they can do for us and have jobs and be working and just change our lives completely, because, boy, they sure have done that for me. And with all the seizure dogs and all the other skills that we're learning and abilities that dogs have, it's just really amazing. Well, so you've mentioned a couple of ways that people can get more information about Lulu, but just want to, if you could tell us your website, your Facebook page, how can people, because I know our listeners are going to want to check out Lulu and they really are going to want to see her photo because she does look like a big teddy bear. And how can they find you guys?
So our website is www.Ballard-Durand.com, and there is a link to our Facebook page right from our main website. But if you want to go to facebook.com/Ballard-Durand Funeral, you can like us on Facebook and see all the updates that we post, videos about Lulu. And like I said, every Wednesday is Dog Day Wednesday, and you'll see pictures of Lulu at work, at play, whatever she's up to that afternoon.
That's awesome. Well, we really appreciate you coming and visiting with us today, Matthew. Thank you so much for sharing Lulu with us and taking a little bit out of your day to be with us. We really appreciate that.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. I love sharing her story, and I thank you for your interest.
Well, thank you, and we will definitely have that website address and the Facebook address on our website, so we know you, our listeners, will want to check that out, and you'll want to see Lulu, so we'll make that available to you. And thank you so much for being with us today. We love it that you join us, and we love to hear from you through your emails, so any comments or ideas for shows that you have, we'd love to hear that. So please keep those emails coming at Marcie, MARCIE, at PetLifeRadio.com. And please follow us, Working Like Dogs, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you know you can read our blog at WorkingLikeDogs.com. So thanks so much, and we look forward to being with you again soon. Take good care.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.